What up, y'all? I am struggle streaming tonight using the webcam on my laptop. I'm on a business trip, but just wanted to get on and give y'all something. Um, Let me see. I might be able to get better light over there. One moment, y'all. One moment. Let's look at the light up. Let me set this up right here. Yeah, this camera on the laptop is old, but it's all I have, so I'm gonna work with it. It's more about the message. So tonight I want to get on and I want to talk about the effects of low self-esteem, right? Low self-esteem creates what I like to call artificial confidence, fake confidence, right? Because what ends up happening when you have low self-esteem, you still need to function in life. You still need to go through life and be able to achieve things or feel like you're achieving things. It comes down to something called self-determination theory, where you need competence, mastery, and autonomy, right? And what people tend to do when they have low self-esteem is overinflate their confidence, meaning they're not truly confident at their core. So what they do is the next best thing. They try to appear confident to other people. See, confidence is something that illuminates, it shines, right? Confidence is something that other people feel. You don't typically need to tell people that you're confident. You don't typically need to do certain things to prove you're a confident person. But what ends up happening is when people have low self-esteem, they try to overcompensate. They do things and behave in a way that shows their lack of confidence, right? Like, have you ever met somebody and you've just been having genuine conversation with them? You've done nothing to this person. You weren't thinking anything negative. You weren't behaving in any type of way, trying to do anything bad to them. And out of nowhere, right, they just start getting defensive. They start treating you differently. And when you dig deeper into why it is, you find out that you said something and they thought that it meant this other thing that you were never even thinking. You said something, and it's not that they just made a mistake, because everyone can make a mistake when judging people's behavior. But they made a mistake and they put so much weight on what they thought you meant, what they thought that was, that they changed their behavior to an extreme level. This is what you get when you're dealing with people who have low self-confidence or low self-esteem. Artificial confidence. Artificial confidence says, I need to pretend that I'm tougher than I am so you think I'm tougher than I am. But really all you're doing is you're sending a signal to actual confident people that you're afraid, that you're not able to do what you need to do, or communicate in the way you need to communicate, or live in the way that you want to live, right? And for those of you tuning in, sorry about the quality of the camera. I'm on my laptop, business trip, best I could do with the camera I had, with the camera I have, just streaming live on the laptop. Gonna head out to dinner soon, letting my phone charge, so would use that, but not trying to be out there lacking with a dead battery. But message was on my heart. Still wanted to get something out to y'all. But yeah, as I was saying, with low self-confidence, I want to give you 2 or 3 things for dealing with people who have low self-confidence. Because dealing with people who have low self-confidence is worse than dealing with people who, or people dealing with people with low self-esteem is worse than dealing with people who I would want to say are liars, right? Because the liar knows they're lying. The liar knows they're lying. The person with the low self-esteem doesn't necessarily know they have low self-esteem. Because again, when people have low self-esteem, they typically tend to overcompensate with artificial confidence. And that artificial confidence feels like the real confidence. It feels like the real thing, right? It's like you got that rubber on. You may think that the bearskin Trojan feel like the real thing till you actually get the real thing, and then you like, this ain't the real thing. That's people with low self-esteem. They feel like it's the real thing. They feel like when they are overcompensating with that confidence, the artificial confidence, that's the real thing, until they get around people who have actual self-confidence, right? Because here's the thing. People always say fake it till you make it. But I've always lived by the philosophy, if you have to fake something to get somewhere, imagine what you have to do to maintain it. So if you have to fake a personality to get in a certain position, he said that bearskin rubber hit different. Nah, that not from my experience. Not from my experience. The ribbed one, the yellow ribbed one, hey. But yeah, stay focused. All right. The artificial confidence is dangerous. And for those of you tuning in, sorry about the quality of the camera. Business trip. This is the camera on my laptop. Best I could do, letting my phone charge. About to head out to dinner. Need a charged phone. But like I was saying, when it comes to artificial confidence, and that's artificial confidence is pretty much someone with low self-esteem who is pretending as if they have this high level of self-esteem or self-confidence, but they just don't know it, right? Here are some signs. Here are some signs of somebody who has low. I like that. If you got to fake it to make it, imagine what you have to do to maintain that. For real. It's like when you're faking, and this is something that I learned a while ago, because when I first started working, right, I was 18. Well, I started working when I was 12, 13, but when I started working as an adult, I would get these jobs, and there would be people that were older than me, like they were in their 40s, 50s. This is just where their life is at. This is their job. This is what they're doing. And they would act one way when the boss was there and another way when he wasn't. And they would go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they would always say, like, well, you got to act this way. This is just part of the game. Or in college where people would act fake around teachers, or they would act fake this way to get a good grade, or they would just do things that wasn't themselves. They would be so stressed about what am I going to wear? What am I going to say? What am I going to do just to get their foot in the door? And then once they get their foot in the door, it's just more of the things that they had to do to get their foot in the door. But it's like, what's the point of having your foot in the door if you don't like what's on the other side? So I try not to put my foot in the door of things that I don't like what's on the other side. If I don't like what's on this side of the door, I don't want to know what's on that side of the door. Like if I walk into a restaurant and it smells like boo-boo, I don't want to know what you cooking. If I walk into a restaurant and it smells like boo-boo, I don't want to know what's in the kitchen. But maybe that's just me, right? Maybe that's just me. I have a philosophy. I don't want to do something that's not me to get something. And then, because it's like, it's not long-term thinking. And what you have to realize when it comes to confidence is that if you have low self-esteem and you're overcompensating for confidence, then it's not long-term thinking, because at some point you're going to get tired of the facade. But here's the dangerous part. Here's what they don't tell you, right? Here's what they don't tell you. People will respect you more What are the signs that somebody's faking it? Okay, good job keeping me on track. Signs, I just be going off on a tangent. Signs that somebody is faking it, right? One of the biggest signs that somebody is faking it is their actions don't align with their words. Their actions don't align with their words. People who have real confidence, they don't have to tell you that they're confident. They don't have to keep going. Like, people who have low self-esteem and they're not confident within themselves, they're very aggressive up front with their approach, or they're very like uh they're non-compromising. They come off as like it's my way or the highway type of deal, because they don't want opposition, right? They don't want to feel like someone's going to get the better of them. When you're truly confident, it's like, okay, this didn't work out. Cool. I can still do this. I can still do that. All right. Whatever. It's like when you're truly confident, you don't have to do those things. But people with low self-confidence, they want to give the appearance that they have the confidence. So they do things that they think confident people do. They do things that they think that confident people are arrogant. They think that confident people are like, it's my way and I'm never changing it. And if you don't like it, you get the hell out of here. That's not really what confident people do, right? Confident people are like, here are the options. What do you think? Or, yeah, I mean, it really depends on the situation. But that's one thing, is like the my way or the highway. My way or the highway. Because people who have low self-esteem, they want to feel like they're in control, even if they're not in control. That's enough for them. It says, so if you have somebody in your life that is faking the confidence, what do you do? If you have somebody in your life that's faking the confidence and you're aware of it, I would say the best thing that you can do is to try to separate yourself from that person and spend less and less energy on them. Because what ends up happening is that as you show your confidence more, they view you as the enemy. They view you as the enemy. So it's like, and you're not even trying to do anything. This is just you, right? You just, yeah, I don't really like that. I don't like this. Nah, it's cool. Like, these people who have low self-confidence, they'll work up something in their mind that is not true, and then they'll use that to attack you. You looked at them this way, and that means X, Y, and Z. No, it doesn't. They just been thinking that for 3 months, and now all of a sudden, anything you do is an attack against them. That's what low self-confidence will have you doing. Low self-confidence will have you playing a movie in your mind where you're the star of that movie, and everyone's paying attention to you. Everyone's out to get you. Everyone's just, on your neck for no reason. And it's not true. And so if you're dealing with somebody who has low self-confidence, understand that you're not going to change that. You're not going to change that, because understand this. If you're dealing with somebody who has low self-confidence, chances are they're already aware that they're not as confident as you when they're alone, right? Earlier I said they're not aware that they have low self-esteem. I want to go deeper on that, because it's not that they're completely dissociated with it and they don't know they have low self-esteem. It's that they get glimpses of it. You'll say something to them and it won't make sense. Even with the lie they're telling themselves about, oh, I have confidence. You'll say something to them and they won't have any reason. It says, what if it is your significant other? If your significant other has low self-confidence, you are probably someone who has low self-confidence as well, because like if you chose somebody with low self-confidence, it's probably because you have low self-confidence too, because you didn't want somebody with high self-confidence. Because you don't just develop low self-confidence. It happens over time. So if your significant other has low self-confidence, and we're not talking about low self-confidence in a certain area, but just overall, no matter what, it's like their low self-confidence in whatever. But if your significant other has low self-confidence and you have high self-confidence, you would have known that before they were your significant other. Because people with confidence can recognize people without confidence. Just like people without high confidence can recognize people with high confidence. So it's like I don't really see a situation where somebody unknowingly got into a relationship with someone who had low self-confidence and they had high self-confidence. So that would be on you. I would say like it's not it's not only them that has the problem, it's you as well. Because understand this, and this is just me being real with y'all. Uh, People who have high self-confidence, we always want to take on other people. Like we want to take on challenges because that's what drives us, right? When you have high self-confidence, you think you could do anything. And if you can't do anything, it's still worth the attempt. It's still worth the attempt. It says, should a person stay in the relationship if that's the case? Well, like I was saying, if you're in a relationship with somebody who has low self-confidence, they likely had that low self-confidence when you got with them. Now, if it's something that they're working through because there was an event that happened and they're trying to get back on their feet and they're taking measured steps and you can measure it and track it and hold them accountable, that's a different story. But if this is somebody that was already low self-confidence and you feel like you're high self-confidence or whatever, if you're in a relationship with them and there was nothing that you can see like, okay, this can explain why they're just going through a rough patch, one, I would really question your level of confidence. And two, I would just say like you have to use like investment time return. If you invest time in this person and resources and money, how much time is it going to take for them to get back on their feet? And what is the return on that? Is this somebody you're married to? Is this somebody you're dating? Is this like someone you have children with? All these different variables. But let's just assume you're with this person. There's no children involved. You're not married. You're just boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever. You really need to evaluate what you want for your life. And if you want to fix people, it's going to take a lot of energy away from doing high self-confidence things, building a business, earning more money, working on yourself, going after what you want. And also, here's another thing. When you have someone with low self-confidence, it's difficult for you to be around other people with high self-confidence and for you to have high self-confidence conversations. For example, I have conversations about the gym and eating healthy all the time. You can tell the people that are self-conscious because I'll say something, not even trying to be mean, but just a basic fact of life. Like, you don't want to be fat, or like, I don't want to be fat, or I'm not going to eat that because I don't want to be overweight. I'm talking about me, what I don't want. But I say that and then they take it offensive. I don't give my children this type of food because I don't want them to grow up, or I don't want them to develop diabetes and be overweight and be unhealthy. I say those things, and now it's like I'm being mean when I say basic things about basic health stuff. So it's like, you'll notice when you just have regular conversations or you're just talking about things that are positive, they won't like those things. So you have to decide what type of life you want. You just have to do that. It says, just broke up with 2 of my girlfriends because their confidence was crap. I told them exactly what you said. Thank you for this help. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Because here's the thing. When you understand what you want in life and you understand who you are as a person, it becomes so much easier and clearer what the decision should be. This is why it was easy for me to say I'm not going to go drinking with y'all when I was in high school, because I knew I wanted to graduate from high school, and drinking this alcohol may get in the way of that because I may get drunk and do something that derails my life, like y'all, right? So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go start smoking and doing all this other stuff with y'all because I see where it's leading y'all. But I had a vision, I had a goal. So it was easier for me to do those things. And I wasn't a self-conscious loser who was like, oh, well, I need their acceptance. That was never me. I can't relate to that. So when people come to me with those stories, I just can't relate to it, because it's like, are you really serious about your success? Are you really serious? And people be thinking I'm arrogant, or people be thinking that I think I'm better than them and all this other stuff. It's not even that. It's not even that. It's just I can say with confidence what I want and what I don't want. And it's like, it doesn't matter whether I'm talking to a CEO, a janitor, a regular person. I'm me. And that's what's most important to me, is being my authentic self. And if you can't be your authentic self, then you can't expect other people to want you as your authentic self. Like, you can't go back and forth between, okay, I'm my authentic self this day, I'm this person this day, and this person. You can, but it just comes off as disingenuous, and you're going to struggle a lot. And you're going to struggle because there's going to be this disconnect between what you say and between what you say, what you hear yourself say, and then what you see yourself do. And if those things aren't in alignment, if what you say is not in alignment with what you hear yourself say, and if what you hear yourself say is not in alignment with what you say and what your actions are, there's going to be a certain level of misery, a certain level of cognitive dissonance, a certain level of pain and suffering internally and externally. So get in alignment. Get in alignment. If you have low self-esteem, it's not too late for you, but it is going to take work, right? People with low self-esteem see people with high self-esteem and high confidence and think that they just got that way. Oh, they were just born that way. Yeah, maybe some people have different traits that elevate them, but it's habits over time. And what we know about habits is habits make things look easier, second nature. And so if you're somebody with low self-esteem and you want to try to raise your level of self-confidence, self-esteem, it starts with really sitting down and being brutally honest and taking inventory of who you are, what you want, and why you do what you do. You don't have to run to people and tell them, as soon as you figure something out about yourself, what you think it is, and like sit with it. Really sit with it and think about it. Because what ends up happening is, if you go and tell people X, Y, and Z, right, and you're still working through something, you now may feel too embarrassed to go back to them and say this, and that. And then what ends up happening is you shut people off, or shut down, or you feel embarrassed. There's nothing wrong with taking time, figuring things out for yourself, and working through things by yourself. Like, you can't on one hand say, I want to reflect and get better and be internally better, but then on the next hand, make your healing journey about everyone else's opinion of your healing journey. It doesn't work that way, because now it's about appearing like you're healing, appearing like you're making progress versus actually making progress. Like, where I'm at right now took years. And during those years, it wasn't like, oh, I did this, and calling people like, oh, I'm confident now, or it was just things that happened over time. And as time went on, and I got better at this, better at that, just happened. But another thing is, I'm super competitive. I'm very competitive. And so there's just a lot that I can't relate to when it comes to certain people, when it comes to certain traits that people have, because I've always thought of myself as a winner. And so I have winner conversations, I have winner thoughts. I've always looked at loser thoughts or like loser behavior as a cancer. And if you let it get too strong, it spreads. And when it spreads, it can get uncontrollable. So, yeah, it's just, it's a holistic approach to life. It's not something that happens overnight. And if you have artificial confidence, try the real thing. That means taking risk, or what appears to be risk. That means finding your authentic self, not being too emotionally attached, but just doing what seems to come natural. And that's the problem. When you live with artificial confidence for too long, you don't know what's natural to you. You're always second guessing yourself. You don't know what that right thing is. It's like, for example, me. I can make a decision, and that could be a horrible decision. But I can still wake up the next day, look myself in the mirror, love myself, and understand this isn't permanent. This is not permanent. It's the reason why if I'm talking to a CEO, I can make a joke, and if the joke doesn't work, it's like, okay, I made a joke, I said it. Oh well, life goes on, because my success isn't tied up in one person or one joke or one sentence or one day. And if this doesn't work, that will. But people with the artificial confidence, if this doesn't work, my life is over. That's a disaster mindset to have. But wrap things up. If you got any value from this video, make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, support the channel. Just wanted to give you guys something quick and just give you the message that was on my mind. Yeah, about to hit dinner and enjoy the rest of my trip in Vegas. Like I said, just wanted to give you guys something while I'm on this trip, and be back to posting. Well, I mean, I still posted this week. We just did a live on Friday. We'll have another one coming Friday. I'll be back in town. And yeah, but I'll be posting more of the clips and skits content as the weeks go on and I get settled back in. But thank you for tuning in, and y'all be safe. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. You can comment. If you want a free consultation with me, make sure you you can go to my page. There's a link for a free consultation. I do personal development coaching, business coaching. And yeah, see y'all next time.